My name is Carla Nieuwert and I'm crazy passionate about pregnancy, birth and babies and helping you to find your way through and embrace both the messy and magical things on this extraordinary journey of bringing your precious baby into this world. I'm a small town mama who has taken a leap and become a certified birth educator and have a very deep desire to help as many mothers as I can around the world. I want you to feel ready, confident and excited to go into labor so you can have your best chance at a smooth, calm and a beautiful natural birth. So please get comfy and ready to learn all you need to know to feel prepared and informed about your pregnancy, birth and easing into breastfeeding with confidence. We won't shy away from the real talk. This is the Birth Serenity Podcast.
Hello everyone, it is Carla Nieuwert here from the Birth Serenity Podcast, and in this episode today we will talk about the fear of pain during labor and giving birth. So this is probably the number one thing that comes up when you ask expecting mothers, what are you most scared of in regards to giving birth? And probably the first thing that comes up in everyone's mind is the fear of pain. So when I do my first consultation with mothers, I often hear them say, I have low pain tolerance, so I don't know how I'll cope with labor. Believe it or not, labor is more about mental strength rather than physical strength. So let's start this episode by looking at why the fear of pain during labor even exists. Helen Vessel wrote a book called The Joy of Natural Childbirth, and she did much research on the history of childbirth, and there is a lot of evidence that ancient women had their babies easily and with little discomfort and drama, unless, of course, there were complications. Historical records at the time of Jesus confirm that babies were born in fewer than 3 hours. The very famous birth of Jesus alone is proof of this, and all naturally, of course. In Helen's book, she says there is no evidence to support the theory that women in ancient times considered childbirth a curse or that they suffered in childbirth. Dr. Michel Audin is a French obstetrician, and I had him on the previous Birth Serenity podcast. He now says that medication has been forced on women for so long that we are actually losing that instinct to birth our babies naturally, which is really sad. So let me ask you, what do we see in movies and on TV? Do you ever see a woman calmly going into labor and birthing her baby in peace? No, she's always rushed to hospital and screaming and swearing as her baby is born. Horror stories told by our friends, family, and even strangers. As a society, we are letting women down before they have even conceived their first child. It's no wonder there is so much fear around birth, especially when you get pregnant. Suddenly, all these things you've been told your whole life arise. There is this drama and expectation that the mother needs to be helped during labor and that it is the worst thing she'll ever have to go through. And honestly, from experience, that is absolutely not true. Did you know that when the original Bible was translated from the Hebrew version into other languages, it appeared for the first time with the reference known as the curse of Eve? Genesis 3 verse 16 reads, "To the woman he said, I will make your pains in childbearing very severe. With painful labor you will give birth to children." Okay, so I am a Christian and I remember from the first time reading this, it just didn't feel right. But I read it in the Bible, so why then question it? Then I had my own children and I realized just how beautiful, empowering and magical it actually is. And it confused me even more. So I went on a mission and I researched it. Is this, in fact, what the passage said in Hebrew? And is the traditional interpretation accurate? What did God really say? The Geneva Bible translates the verse to, "Unto the woman he said, I will greatly increase thy sorrows and thy conceptions. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children." So only by reading the same verse in an older Bible translation, it already sounds a lot better for a pregnant mom, right? Catherine Bushnell researched this as well, and she believes that this is an inaccurate rendering of the passage, and she may well be right. Her evidence provides a persuasive case reconciling this passage with the Spirit of Jesus Christ. There are in-depth studies and explanations of this online, but let me just summarize the conclusion. When you look at the original Hebrew Bible and how they incorrectly translated it, the correct rendering of the sentence, "I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception," would then be, "A snare hath increased thy sorrow and sighing." Satan had laid a snare that would result in much sorrow for the women, and since the Messiah would be born from a woman, Satan would henceforth challenge every birth, and so in pain she would bring forth children. I'll leave a link to those studies in the description below, but what's important for you to know is that God never said He wants women to suffer and endure excruciating pain during labor. That was rendered into newer translations when childbirth already started to be misunderstood by society. So how do we dispel those myths that childbirth needs to be this very painful and horrible ordeal? It's easy actually. We educate ourselves and we dissociate with what makes us feel uncomfortable. You have to learn how birth works and how it is supposed to work. This is so important. Grantley Dick Reed wrote a book called Childbirth Without Fear. He was a British obstetrician and a leading advocate of natural childbirth in the early 1900s. So he got called one night to go assist a woman in labor in Whitechapel, which is actually quite a poor area, or at least it used to be back then. And he arrived at this hovel. The windows are smashed, there's water dripping from the ceiling, and this lady in established labor lying on her bed covered with filthy sacks. So he all heroically ran over with the chloroform, and apparently she pushed him away, complaining about the smell. She didn't want the drugs. So he stood back in the corner and watched this lady silently and effortlessly birth her baby. So afterwards, when he was checking everything out, he said to her, "Why didn't you want the medication?" And in a proper East End Cockney accent, she said, "But it didn't hurt, doctor. It wasn't supposed to, was it?" When he was finished there, he got on his bicycle, went back to the hospital, and when he arrived at the maternity ward, he heard women birthing, but screaming and crying and begging for drugs. And he cannot get this other woman out of his head. How is it so easy for her when these women are doing exactly the same thing, but having a totally different experience? So he started to think along the lines of belief and expectation. The women who had no idea what to expect just got on with it. The middle-class, educated women birthing in hospital had been conditioned by everybody. Oh, it's the worst thing you're ever gonna have to go through. It's horrendous. It's like passing a watermelon, but worse. But at least in the end you get to hold your baby and then you can be happy. So he finally reserved the question, what is it that simple, uneducated women bring to their birthing? And here is the answer. It's not what they brought to birthing, it's what they didn't bring, and that is fear. The educated women were so terrified of what they were going to experience, they were recreating what they've been told to expect. And he came up with a theory that he called the fear, tension, pain cycle. So when there is fear, it causes tension in your muscles, which causes pain, which causes more fear and more tension, because you were told that you're going to have to do this for at least another 8 hours. More fear, more tension, more pain. An incredibly vicious cycle. And what's interesting is that the rest of the medical professionals at the time thought that he was completely crazy. They were saying fear is an emotional state and pain is a physical response, and there is no way the two can be connected. He was actually told at some point, if you don't stop submitting your theories for publication, we will strike you off the medical register, which is quite alarming. So doctors, and you still see this today, they don't like it when you propose something that conflicts with their beliefs. But he says in his book, his theories are based on observation and not in a laboratory. He came up with another theory after his fear, tension, pain, that the more relaxed a woman was through the process of giving labor, the easier her birth became. So he proposed that women were capable of producing some miraculous chemical in their body that made it even easier. We know now that he was talking about endorphins, but they weren't chemically classified until 1974. And in the Birth Serenity Antenatal Program, all the tools and techniques that you'll learn to use during labor are designed to release endorphins. So whilst he's got a very silly name, he was pretty much the foundation for what I'm teaching mothers in the Birth Serenity Antenatal Program now. If you are pregnant, I've got some very good news for you. During pregnancy, our brains are in a heightened state of neuroplasticity, meaning that we can actually rewire our brain, our programming, and our thinking and our beliefs, and learn how to think of labor and birth differently. So you can do this anytime and at any stage of your life, but it'll just come easier when you are pregnant. Your body's ingrained knowledge of birth is near perfect. So how your body is designed is perfect to birth your baby. How your baby is designed is perfect to be birthed by your body. But it is our brains that get in the way and screws things up. Before having babies, pain is a negative thing, right? So it only ever comes as a result of something physically unpleasant and not being right and healthy in your body. But is the birth of a child unpleasant? Shouldn't women be able to walk away from this normal, natural life event feeling strong and empowered? A calm and peaceful birth isn't just for the earth mama types. So I have seen it with my own eyes, time and time again. Women from all different backgrounds and beliefs can have beautiful natural births. Even though I love to go natural whenever possible, I'm far from considering myself being what some would call the earth mama type, and I also had to unmedicated home births. Giving birth is just a normal part of life. With that said, there is no denying labor and birth is hard, and it demands every part of our being. But that's why it's so important to learn the tools and techniques that will help you cope when things get tough. But then you emerge on the other side of it completely transformed. It is hard, and yes, sometimes it hurts, but every natural birth I've attended, the mother was filled with euphoria and empowerment and loving birth afterwards. Endorphins are neuropeptides and oxytocin is a hormone, and they are there to protect you from the pain of labor. And by the way, they are 200 times more potent than morphine. So your body is capable of releasing natural pain relief that is 200 times more potent than morphine. So every tool in the Birth Serenity Toolkit, like hypnosis, breathing techniques, massage techniques, just to name a few, are there to help you release endorphins and oxytocin. The birth environment, people included, can either help that happen, the release of endorphins and oxytocin. They can either help that happen really well or stop it from happening altogether. And that's why it's also so important to give this enough thought during pregnancy. Do you feel safe and protected in the room that you are planning to give birth? Because if not, chances are things won't progress as it should. And eventually those feelings and emotions will result in physical pain. So here's my advice. Understand the power of positive thought and hypnosis to train the mind to best support labor and birth rather than hinder it. So just to conclude this episode and to give you some practical tips and advice on what you can do to experience less pain during labor, remember the fear, tension, pain cycle, and it all starts with fear. So you have to get rid of the fear of birth while you are still pregnant. And for that, you will need some good hypnosis and some good fear release scripts. You also need to surround you with people who have had positive birth experiences and who can share their positive stories with you. And if you think that is not enough and you can't find resources to that, get in touch with a birth educator who can help you. The second thing you need to do is to secure a birth room or a birthing space where you will feel really safe and protected. The third thing you can do is to make sure that your birthing team is really on your side and respecting your birth wishes. And remember that I am always there. I will help you. I will give you advice. So if you want to get on a call with me or just talk about the fears that you have, I might give you some practical advice on how to get rid of them. So you're welcome to get in touch with me as well. And just remember that women have been birthing their babies naturally since the beginning of time. You are definitely not the first one who have to go through this. So just make sure that you do have the support you deserve to make this a beautiful experience for you.
Are you pregnant? Hoping for a smooth, calm, beautiful natural birth? Let us help you with that. In the Birth Serenity Antenatal Program, we focus on natural birth and would be honored to help and support you to prepare yourself in the best possible way, both mentally and physically, for your birth. Our aim is to help you find peace and accept your birth, whichever way it turns out. For more information, go to birthserenity.com.